I'm not going to stand here in front of one of the great wonders of the world and argue about an old movie. I'll go back inside. If you figure out some plan to make $800 last a lifetime, knock on the door. I'll be in there.
You're listening to the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steinler.
All right, welcome back to Keeping Your Money Show. Jamie Westenbarger, joined as always by my colleague, Mr. Bart Steinler. We were talking about nicknames in the break, and I'm not going to tell you what Bart came up with because you might lose respect for him. But I almost called him that because it was on my mind when he said it. And if you haven't seen the skit by Key and Peele where he mispronounces every name of every kid in the classroom, you won't find the humor in it, but if you have, you would find it hilarious. So look that up online if you're wondering. This is the Keep Your Money Show where we cut through all the bulls, the booyahs, bells, whistles, honks, and horns to get you the information that actually helps you move towards retirement. We talked about retirement killers, the tough but true reasons you might not be as wealthy as you should be, and the father of portfolio theory, Mr. Markowitz, and what he's doing with his portfolio that has nothing to do with modern portfolio theory. If you missed any part of the show, you can always find it on our website. Just go to keepingyourmoney.com. Or, of course, you can find it on any of our podcast partners, iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher.
Hey, before you get into this,
yes,
there's a new restaurant on Cherry Street called The Commons.
Yep, I saw the ad for it in the news article on it.
So Kathy and I, Kathy being my wife, went to the soft opening of that. Really, really cool place. They
this is like the 80s theme or 70s theme.
It's like a 70s
right?
theme.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in there and I mean they have an old TV set with like the oval shaped screen on it and the big speakers on the side of the TV set.
Can you go watch the game on that?
You can actually.
It's got to be really weird.
Yeah, but I mean the way the place is decorated inside and the food is good, and so we had a really nice time there Monday night. And so if you're into checking out something new, kind of a throwback type place, check out The Commons on Cherry Street. Fun time.
Sounds cool. All right, so we want to talk about it's the holiday season. Tuesday was Giving Tuesday. A lot of people, the end of the year, they start to kind of look at charitable giving and that type of stuff.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it also brings out all of the idiots who try to steal our money. And so we thought we'd give you some tips on how to avoid charity scams, which pop up like crazy this time of year. The first one is really pretty simple. Do your research. If somebody calls you on the phone or sends you an email, no matter how good it sounds, no matter how great the cause is, just check them out. Make sure they're a 501c3, which means they're a nonprofit, which means you can tax deduct the contribution that you give them. But there's a lot of other places you can go to, websites like Charity Navigator, Charity Watch. You can even go to the IRS's website to verify that they're a legitimate nonprofit. So a little bit of extra research just to make sure what you think the money's going to is what it is actually going to.
You mentioned if they call you on the phone. A lot of the people that call you on the phone are professional charity fundraisers. They don't actually work for the charity. And it is legitimate to ask, if I make a donation, what percentage of my donation goes to the fundraiser and what percentage goes to the charity?
And it's shocking sometimes.
And they are obligated to tell you that, and it's usually more than 50% of the money is going to the person or the company making the phone calls and about 40% to the charity. So if that charity really means something to you, give it directly to the charity and not through a phone solicitation.
Yep. Don't ever send money overseas, even if it's for something happening overseas. We've seen this like when the tsunami a few years ago, the Fukushima nuclear reactor in Japan. A lot of times this is when scams can really prop up. There is always going to be a U.S. component of a legitimate overseas charity. So if there's something you want to give to, if you want to give to relief in Haiti because of the hurricanes, if you want to give to some organization assisting, with, some of the storms that the Caribbean suffered or whatever, you can find American-based charities that will be towards that cause. Don't ever wire money or anything else, because more times than not, that's not going to turn out well for you.
Yeah, and when you see these spiels on TV about certain charities that are helping a certain group of people, do some critical thinking, okay? And I'm not making a blanket statement about all charities that advertise on TV. Some of them are very, very good, but I know some are suspect. And you can look them up on the internet. I always like to look up and see, the person who's heading this charity, what kind of money are they making? If they're making, over $1 million a year as the person who runs this charity,
right.
I get a little suspect about what they're doing. If they're talking about, helping people who survived the Holocaust, well, anybody who survived the Holocaust is well into their 90s at this point. Right. So, be a little suspect of that, okay?
Yep.
Do some critical thinking, do a little bit of research before you send your money.
Well, and I think, too, that ties into even, emotionally be careful, right? Because we can all get sucked into, they'll prey on your religion,
Mm-hmm.
they'll prey on the idea of it helping children, things that they know people are going to emotionally connect to.
Right.
Just because it's a Christian organization that says they help children doesn't mean it's not a scam. You still need to verify that information is true and that what they're saying they do, they really do.
Yeah, they know what buttons to touch in your emotional state
Right.
to get you to give, and you just have to be smart enough to know what's truth and what isn't.
And then consider how you'll donate. If it's a reputable organization, you should be able to go online. You should be able to donate online, preferably with a credit card, so that not only do you have tracking of it, but also it's fairly safe to do that. Always be a little cautious of mail-in checks and stuff like that, especially if it's the first time you're contributing. And then also keep in mind that with all the new tax rules, if this is going to be a new charity you want to start donating to, make sure you talk to your CPA to do it the best way for yourself from a tax standpoint too. With the new personal deductions that we're going to have, there are going to be some differences there where maybe you itemized in the past and you're not going to now.
Yeah. One of the things that we do at our family is towards the end of the year, we sit down and we determine an amount that is going to be spent for charitable giving for the next year. And then we put down, now I'll make a list of who I'd like to give to, and my wife makes a list of who she'd like to give to, and we have a discussion about it. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that discussion, we come to some conclusions, and that way we're thinking forward about our giving and the areas that we want to help in, and it's not so much people coming to us and telling us and trying to pull at our heartstrings of where the money should go. Now, does that mean occasionally during the year and someone's having a fundraiser that we don't contribute? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But for the bulk of our charitable giving, it is set up as a budget item, and we each discuss where we'd like to see it go, and then we come to a conclusion and we make the donations.
Well, and I mean, we even did that as a company here a few years back. You know,
Right.
we looked at, we were all charitably giving individually, and what could we do if we kind of honed in on one or two charities, and what kind of impact could we make? And I mean, if you're doing that at home, if you're giving to multiple charities, maybe, really focusing on something that you can get really involved with, you could even have a more impactful relationship with that charity. And it's not all about money either. I mean, there's a lot of people that donate their time and talents and things like that are just as important to a charity as your dollars. So just at the holiday season, make sure you don't let emotion cause you to make a bad decision that ends up helping you get scammed. We would hate to see that. All right, coming up on the Keep Your Money Show, we're going to wrap it up and send you into the weekend.
Is your 401k sturdy enough to help support your retirement goals? The Keeping Your Money Show has a team of advisors that will help you size up the assets currently in your 401k and explore asset allocation based on your goals. Call the Keeping Your Money Show today at 1-888-98-MONEY or visit keepingyourmoney.com to learn how you can start solidifying your foundation for a strong retirement plan. This is the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steindler.
All right, welcome back to Keep Your Money Show. Jamie Westenbarger joined, as always, by Bart Steindler. Well, that's officially another show in the books, Mr. Steindler. We're racking them up.
Yeah. The Radio Hall of Fame, they're going to have to build another edition to put all of these editions of the Keeping Your Money Show.
Running out of room in that server with all these shows we're stacking up. No, we really do appreciate everyone that listens to the show and love your feedback. Of course, you can always email us, info@keepingyourmoney.com, or give us a call, 888-98-MONEY. Love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like to hear us talk about or something you don't want to hear Bart talk about anymore, you can always let us know, and I'll tell him to stop. And but we do really appreciate feedback. If you miss any part of the show, of course, you can always find it on our website. Go to keepingyourmoney.com or on our podcast partners, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Just search for the Keeping Your Money Show. We talked about 10 retirement killers, true reasons you're not as wealthy as you think you should be. The father of portfolio theory does away with portfolio theory, and 4 ways to avoid charity scams. Come back an hour earlier next week if you just tuned in and listen to a great show.
Absolutely.
Good contribution.
Thank you very much.
I'm like, okay, you, Bart. Absolutely. Next. No, I'm gonna tell you like I tell you every week.
I don't have any more antidotes for today.
Nothing else to add.
My antidote file is empty.
All right. Well, I'll tell you like I tell you every week. You never go on a trip. It's holiday season. Many people looking to get into some warmth, or maybe to slide over to grandma's house or something for the holiday. And no one ever does that without thinking through how that process works, right? You don't get up on Christmas morning only to realize the gas stations are closed and you forgot to get gas. I mean, maybe you do, but if you're planning, you don't. No one ever shows up at a hotel around any time of year and says, hey, I need a room for a week here in this warm tropical climate during the cold winter months of the north. We plan these things out. We get reservations. We plan airline flights. We plan trips. Because that's what you need to do. And with retirement, it's the same thing. If you don't have a roadmap for your retirement, the likelihood is it's not going to go so smoothly. So if you don't have one, let us help you. We'd be happy to sit down with you. The first meeting with us is absolutely free, no cost or obligation. And we can help you figure out where you need to go so that you can be successful and ultimately design an income distribution strategy that you can use when you're retired. Our toll-free number is 888-98-MONEY. That's 888-986-6639, or visit us on the web at keepingyourmoney.com. For everybody here at Keeping Your Money, thanks for listening. We got Dan Van Singel, Sheen, Thorson, Nate Boonstra, Troy Fox on the Lake Shore, my compadre, Mr. Bart Steindler, our wonderful producer, Laura Ridenauer. I'm Jamie Westenbarger. Have a fantastic weekend, and thanks for listening.
Registered representatives offer securities through Securities America, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Financial advisors offer advisory services through Securities America Advisors, Inc. Forest Hills Financial, Inc. and Securities America are separate entities.